Good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are in the wonderful world. If you don't already know me, my name is Kelly Ratney. I'm the Queen of Sensuality, and I'm a shamanic high priestess. So, sorry, I got a little bit tongue-tied. I got mildly distracted by my view outside my window. I felt super inspired to do a video today. It's been a while since I've done a video, actually. I've had a lot of moving around this year. So I'm glad to be back doing videos. I love to teach. I think video is a great platform, and it gives you a chance to engage with me or share the video if you feel called to. So what I'm going to be talking about tonight is something that's happening for me right now. Actually, I've been invited to a speaking event tomorrow, and the invitation said dress to impress, and it got me to thinking about how much work and time it goes into being a woman, and I'm very aware of that, as I'm sure all of you are. But not just that, but in the corporate world, how much more is expected of you as a woman, how much more planning you have to undertake in order to attend an event, attend an extra meeting, or even just go to work. If you're a woman who goes out to work and you're not working from home, then you can attest to the fact that there are more hours and more thoughts that go through your head probably than that of your partner or your husband, or if you're single, your male counterparts at work. And what brought this to me today was, this invitation is, it's a beautiful speaking event, but it is run by a male in the coaching business. And so it's approached very, from very masculine energy, very task oriented, very exterior, very diligent, very work ethic oriented. So the invitation said dress to impress, so business attire or business casual was fine. And so for me, I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been working for myself for ages, so I had to really think about what that would be as far as wardrobe goes. Luckily, I enjoy getting dressed up. But it did bring me into a place of awareness as to how much effort women put into their appearance, which is that's a beautiful thing. Whatever makes you feel lit up, whatever makes you feel gorgeous, as long as it's you and it's not something that you're manufacturing, I'm totally all for it, and it's not harmful to your health. But my narrative went something like this. So I'm a mother. So my daughter is going to be 3 in 2 weeks. So she is not in school yet, and we don't have full-time care where we are. So my husband also is self-employed. So he has a few clients that he's seeing tomorrow. So I actually had to bring my mother to stay with us so she could watch our daughter. So that's like the first thing that came up for me as soon as I received this invitation. Then the second thing was looking through my wardrobe and going into this old pattern of thinking that nothing I have is good enough. And oh my goodness, I don't know if I can wear that because maybe the, XYZ, maybe the cut is too low. Maybe the shirt is too sheer. Maybe the slit is too high. Maybe I look, not amazing in that color. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's not enough. I wonder what they mean by impress. Who am I impressing? And then I got this big download of whoosh, and it's like, who am I actually impressing? Because the invitation implies that I am there to put on a show. That's what it implies. Dress to impress. Put on a show. And it got me to thinking of how many women I know and how many women I work with, and myself included, have spent the majority of our lives putting on a show. How many of us are putting on shows? Oh, hi ladies. So lovely to see you here. How many of us are putting on a show from the time that we're children, depending on what our childhood looks like and all sorts of things happening there? When we come to work, how fortified do we need to be against sexual harassment, against, the guy at the water cooler commenting on your red lipstick, or, oh my God, those are hooker nails, or like, wow, that's quite the bright outfit you have on, or whatever else happens to us when we leave the house, which is a number of things. You're a woman, so So it brought me into this awareness of like, who am I showing up for at this event? Am I really trying to get dressed up to convince a bunch of people to like me, to think that I'm valuable enough to be paid as a speaker, or to be invited to a retreat, or invited to an event as a host? Am I really going to wear clothes that I don't love or aren't comfortable to me just so someone will notice me? And isn't that the plight for all women? Does someone notice me? Notice my gifts? Notice what I have to say? Notice my radiance? Notice all the things about me? But we start doing that And then we're shown some contradictory messaging from maybe our peers, the media. What does it mean to be a lady? What does it mean to be successful? What does it mean to be a woman in the workforce? What does it mean to be a mother? We have quite an extensive definition of woman, and none of them are our own. And that was really apparent for me throughout my life, particularly in the last 3 years of my life. If I didn't really have a strong sense of what it meant to be a woman in this world, particularly what did it mean to be a powerful woman? What did it mean to be a woman who owned my life? I was commanding my own ship. What did that mean? Because lots of times what we end up with is the word bitch, right? Or pushy, or stuck up, or know-it-all, or flighty, or whatever label has been thrown at you. And there's a number of them. We won't go into them because there might be some words that Facebook doesn't like very much. So today, as I was getting organized and I've been mulling over, what am I going to wear? What am I going to say? Am I going to really say I'm the queen of sex and sensuality? Am I going to go into what it means to be a high priestess of the shamanic healing arts? Am I going to wear what I really want to wear? Or am I going to tone it all down and hope that I don't draw too much attention, but just enough attention? Or am I just going to go all out? And it got me to thinking as I was wandering kind of, through my wardrobe, and I make it sound like I have like this massive wardrobe. I don't. I keep my wardrobe fairly clean and simple so that it's easy for me to travel and it's easy for me to get dressed. But I did have these moments where I thought, ooh, I wonder if this blouse is going to be okay, or I wonder if that's going to be okay. I also happen to be on my moon cycle right now. So for those of you that aren't familiar with that term, it's just your menstrual cycle. Not just your menstrual cycle, pardon me. It's your menstrual cycle. And so then it goes to thinking about how many other women right now are on their moon cycle that are about to attend this event, thinking, well, I wonder how far I'm going to be from the bathroom. I wonder if I should wear just black pants to play it safe. I wonder if I can bring like a little bag discreetly with like my feminine products in it. I wonder if my Diva cup is going to hold out for the whole 8 hours. I wonder if this pad's going to be okay. I wonder. Then it brought me back to after I gave birth to my daughter, and I actually attended an event in Seattle, and I had just finished breastfeeding, and I was still leaking. I wasn't very successful with breastfeeding, but I was still dealing with some like leaky breast situations. And I remember a man saying to me, he's like, you should have really thought about coming here before because your shirt's wet and I think that your breasts might be leaking. That's what he said to me. And I remember sitting there and being completely mortified and completely appalled that like my breasts actually legitimately were leaking at a conference. And that this person didn't have enough tact or delicacy to say something other than this offensiveness around my breasts. So I'll try and keep this video short. Sorry, I can talk and talk and talk. So what I'm getting at with this video is ease up on yourselves, ladies. Give yourself kindness and grace. We're working in a world right now which, although we have equality and although we have freedom, we don't have liberty. We're really working really hard on that liberty piece within ourselves, and we need to be. Part of that, though, requires deep compassion, deep trust, and deep understanding of where these fears around being judged on, dress to impress come from, and how we can mitigate that within ourselves in order to feel radiant, beautiful, powerful, so that we can show up the way that we want to. Still feeling fabulous, still feeling beautiful, but for us, not for the exterior shell of being judged like a pageant contest, right? We've all been there. We're still there. Right? So this video is a hats off to you for all of the things that you do that society has required of you in order to show up and be seen as being successful and being taken seriously. But I have good news. Relief is on the way. We're moving into this decade of the powerful woman, and part of a powerful woman is a woman who claims her divinity, who knows her inner radiance and has a deep connection back to herself. So as we are working on ourselves, for ourselves, things about our culture and things about our society, that very male dominant energy, that very task oriented energy, the way that business models are running right now, are going to change, and it will no longer be business as usual. But you have to do your part for yourself. So ways that you can help yourself reclaim your own radiance, so that when you start showing up in these circles, whether they're your family circle, whether they're your social circle, or your career and vocational circle, you are doing it from a place of authenticity to you, not for anybody else, not because you're going to parade around in perfection, not because you need to get on a stage and be judged and be seen, but it's going to be for yourself. So things that you can do for yourself. Take an honest stock of your perception of beauty and compare it to the collective perception or the patriarchal standards of beauty, and decide if those things are true and honest to you. So I'll give you an example. I am 38 this year. I'll be turning 38 in May. I've been getting Botox since I was 21 years old. And the only reason why I stopped was because I got pregnant. And I'm happy to say, I'm proud to say, I'm Botox free for about a year now. And part of that construct was the idea that youth was more valuable than age, right? So I had to take an honest look at myself and think, is that true? Is youth more valuable than age? Was I more valuable when I was 21 as I am now, coming into close to being 40? Or is that a construct that I don't need to believe in anymore? So I decided that there was no longer a truth for me. And I have to say, I'm very, very happy and very, very proud that I made that decision. Another thing that you can go through and decide is things, simple things. Like if I wear red lipstick, does that make me more sexy or less sexy? What does that mean for me? Does it give a man a right to comment on my appearance, or do I still feel safe in that skin? So your job as you is to go through and start deciding what you believe is true for yourself and what you believe you're holding on to based on the ideas of a society at large. This could be your partner's idea about beauty, your mother's idea about beauty, a culture as a whole, depending on where you live in the world. And your job is to go through and diligently decide if that's something that you're going to carry forward. So that's the first thing. So your first job is to decide what is beautiful to you and hold truth to that. So things that are helpful around that are, unfollowing social media accounts where beauty is like the predominant force and the driving force. You don't need to follow Sephora on Instagram. You know that all their shit's on sale all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't need to follow these things anymore. You can get that news and that information if you go into their store or onto their website. You don't need to follow endless models. You don't need to follow endless celebrities. There's something really, really important about recognizing when we're creating false idols and we're idolizing people that don't deserve to be idolized, and knowing why we're seeing them as idols, and recognizing that we like beauty. Everyone likes beauty, but we need to decide what that means. So back to my dressing to impress. The other thing we want to recognize is that we no longer need to earn our keep. And what I mean by that is for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, women literally had to earn their keep in their families. So you either earned your keep by being a good daughter, you learned to write, you learned all the musical instruments, you learned some literature, but not too much, you learned a little bit about politics, but not too much, and you earned your keep in your family so that your father would marry you off to a good family. Then you get married, and now you're earning your keep with your husband, possibly by having sons, allowing him to behave though he wants to behave, and so on and so forth. So it's not that recently that women have had the right to work, to own money, weren't considered property. Equal pay is not even there yet. So we're still working around this idea of earning our keep in positions, whether that's the position of wife, or that's the position of like CEO or manager, or employee relations. We no longer need to earn our keep by allowing behavior that we don't like. We're riding on this really beautiful energetic wave right now. We're coming into a retrograde. We just finished off a full moon. We're going to be coming into a new moon pretty soon. But we're also riding on an energetic wave of feminist power being reborn again after the big movement in the 70s, and then things kind of got comfortable. We all got comfortable. So now we're feeling this rebirth, this resurgence of like, enough is enough. I deserve to be here as much as you deserve to be here. We're in this really beautiful time too, where we're riding off the coattails of the #MeToo movement. There's a lot of big, powerful men being brought to task around their behavior towards women. So when I say it's no longer business as usual, it really means for a lot of women, including some of the clients that I'm working with right now, that they are actually really safe in speaking their voices in their place of work around harassment. Right? So you now get to decide how you want to show up in your family, how you want to show up in your place of employment, and know that you are supported in any changes that you need to make around being harassed or being ridiculed at work because of the way that you're showing up. So the next thing that you can do for yourself is take really close look at how much of you is still hiding behind the scenes. And this can be a part of your life that you haven't shared with people. This can be anything. This can be music that you don't dance to anymore. This can be songs that you don't sing. This can be clothes that you don't wear because you don't think it's appropriate. This can be whatever you want it to be. The rules of the game are changing, but they're still pretty dredged into us around, when you become a lawyer, you dress like this. When you become a mother, you do these things. When you become a grandmother, you let this go. When you get married, you do this, 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 and this in order to appease the keep, right? So really start recognizing what it is that you're leaving behind and what you want to be bringing forward with you. The last thing I'll leave you with, and probably the most important thing I'll leave you with, is to remember that you're not a man. You don't need to act like a man. You don't need to show up like a man. You don't need to dress like a man. You don't need to hold it all together for anyone anymore. This is the decade of the feminine rising, and this is the decade of the powerful woman stepping into herself and into her role and knowing herself deeply. So you are by nature built for pleasure. Hello, clitoris. So you don't have to deep dive into some self-pleasure practice right now unless you really want to. But small little things you can do in your day to bring about more pleasure are things such as taking longer showers, taking extra time washing your hair, really smelling your coffee when you're going to drink it, holding yourself when you're putting on lotion, taking that time to be with yourself and be present with yourself without running off to the 1,000,001 things that the world is demanding of you. Okay? Slow down, move your hips when you walk, enjoy life as it is right now, and know that there is big changes coming. So this was a pretty full video. I am glad that some of you are still with me. I appreciate that. If you have any questions at all, you can either message me here, or you can book a call. The link is up in the body of the post, and it's a free call. I would just love to hear from you. There's absolutely no pressure for anything. Just let me know if any of this struck a chord for you. And hats off to you, ladies. Like, we are carrying a full boat, and it's time we start rocking the boat because some of the things need to fall off. So my invitation for you this week is to find more pleasure, more peace, more play. Smile, laugh, sing, dance, wear the red lipstick, wear what you need to wear to feel like yourself. And you don't need to dress to impress anyone. All you need to be doing is impressing yourself. So however that looks for you, I'm here to support you. I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now. Have a fabulous evening or a fabulous day wherever you are. And I'll keep you posted actually on the event. I'll let you know how it all goes and what other kinds of interesting observations I had. So loads of love to you. Bye for now.